What's good, everybody, man? It's your boy Jay in the building. We is back again with another one. All right, so we have the Southern Heritage Classic, man. We have Tennessee State versus Jackson State. I think the most important question, we're going to ask it right away. How does Tennessee State beat Jackson State? How does it happen? And let me just start defensively. They're going to have to create pressure and really lock up in the back end. You know, as we all seen how Shedeur Sanders works. He can throw in the pocket. He can throw on the run. He has about 11 to 12 different receivers that he's going to spread the ball to. And we know he's capable of doing it because he just did it last week. And, you know, I hope that Tennessee State is healthy on the defensive end. And let me say this, man, like Jackson State, from what we saw, they have a much better offensive line. So it ain't going to be as easy as it was last year to get in the backfield. Like they saw last week, Isaiah Land, we only saw him one time. It's like Isaiah Land was non-existent except for one play. Like, it was kind of amazing to me how ineffective Isaiah Land was last week. It was crazy to see. But yeah, they have a better offensive line. The kicking game is so much better. So whenever they cross the 40 and 50 yard line, you know that's probably guaranteed points for Jackson State now. From a side of last year where they can get to the 20-yard line, they can kick a 30-yard field goal, and there's a greater chance that they're gonna miss it. So the fact that they got not only the kicking game straightened out, they also got the offensive line straightened out. And now when Coach Prime says that he's satisfied with the offensive line, you know that he got some dogs on there. So if y'all saw the full game last week with Tennessee State, they had about 5 or 6 different players that got hurt, all in the first half. So I don't know if that's a testament to, of them not being conditioned enough, or just catching cramps. I don't know what that could be from, but defensively, they're also working with 2 freshman cornerbacks, which when you know that as a quarterback and you have that many receivers that you can throw in your arsenal, they can pretty much smell blood. And what Tennessee State had a problem with last week is that the quarterback could not also throw the ball, but he could run, but he was a scrambling quarterback too. You know, the quarterback last week ran for 60 yards and also threw for over 300 yards with 5 touchdown passes. You know, and the majority of it being outside the numbers, which is where the where the corners are. So the freshman quarterback or the freshman cornerbacks are gonna have to play the best game of their lives. You know, and Jackson State really, they got 3 yards here, 4 yards here. Santee Marshall only had 60 yards rushing. So a lot of Jackson State's damage came through the air last week. And we know that Shedeur Sanders, what we saw last week, he's willing to take the 3-yard curl. He's willing to take the 4-yard slant. Like, he's willing to take those because y'all leaving it open, because y'all are gonna try and watch him throw deep, and he's gonna throw it underneath until y'all play closer, and then he's gonna look for the deep ball. So Shedeur Sanders is going to play really smart in this game, just like he did last week, and the secondary of Tennessee State is gonna have to really lock in. And they're gonna have to get very creative with, and they're gonna have to be willing to only rush 3 guys. They're gonna have to be willing to sometimes play 8 in the secondary, and really, and play cover 2, cover 3. They're going to have to mix it up. And offensively for Tennessee State, Draylon Ellis is going to have to be the best player on the field, like, without a doubt. And he's going to have to use his legs to do it as well. He did do a good job last week with keeping the game as close as he did, even with the 3 turnovers that he had. Now, of course, the last turnover came from on the last drive when he threw the pick. But both of the fumbles came courtesy from him, though. So he's going to have to do a better job of ball security. But they're going to have to get creative with the run game, because from what we saw, and look, Jackson State defensively last week had 3 interceptions, 9 pass deflections, and 5 sacks, which lets you know that, 1, they can really create pressure, and 2, the back end of the defense is the best in the country. I don't know what side Travis Hunter is going to play on, but if I'm them, I'm very careful before throwing it his way. And Nugget didn't even play the second half because they have, for 1, they have that much firepower, and 2, they didn't need him. And, I don't know if y'all saw what Coach Prime said when, I guess, he was asked a question about, him taking Nugget out. Was it because of disciplinary issues? And they didn't need him. Like, they were winning by a lot. They could take out Travis Hunter and Nugget and not play him in the second half. So, and Ellis is gonna have to really spread the ball around. I think only 4 or 5 guys caught passes, and one of them was to the running back. So Ellis, they are gonna have to be willing to really spread the ball around and throw it quickly, because we all know that the majority of the time they can play man coverage, and they're gonna do it. And matter of fact, they're going to do it all season long because they know that their back end is one of the best in the country. And they're willing to play cover 0 most of the game. They're going to go to a 6-man blitz, an all-out blitz, jailbreak blitz. So Draylon Ellis is going to have to really be able to run outside the pocket. Now, the thing with Jackson State is that in order to keep him contained, the DNs or whoever is blitzing has to keep outside contained. That's how you're able to beat a scrambling quarterback. You gotta make sure that you're able to keep outside contained and turn him into a pocket passer. Especially from what I saw from Draylon, is that he'll look for his first and second target, and if he don't see it, he's willing to take off and run with it. He ran the ball 22 times last week. 22 times as a quarterback. So he's willing to run it, and he ain't sliding either. So, but the defense can really create pressure, and I hope Jackson State can get back there, and because if it happens, now let me say this too. Eastern Washington is a really, really good team. They were ranked in the top 15, and Tennessee State made it very respectable. Matter of fact, they almost pulled it off. I think without the turnovers that Tennessee State had, I think they might have won the game. That's with a ranked opponent, but they have another ranked opponent in Jackson State. I think they're ranked number 13th now. So offensively, I think Tennessee State can make it respectable. And I think Jackson State is going up against a different monster at quarterback, because with Musa, and McKay, they're not running quarterbacks. Ellis is. So I think in order for Jackson State to keep him contained, they're gonna have to contain the outside, and and make sure that the two linebackers. I'm pretty sure. Matter of fact, they might not even use their linebackers. They're gonna probably use one of their safeties. They're gonna use probably John Huggins, Cameron Craig, or Gregory Great as quarterback spies, and then just play man coverage in the back end. So it's gonna be real. It's gonna be real interesting to see how that turns out. But let me assure you this: if Jackson State is able to do to Tennessee State what they did to FAMU, then we know that it's not a fluke. Now we know. Look, you take one game at a time, right? But if they can duplicate last week's performance, we all know that it ain't a fluke. That Jackson State is the real deal, and pretty soon they're gonna crack the top 10 this year. So we're gonna see what happens, man. And like I said, to Tennessee State, man, God bless you and good luck. That's what I gotta say, man. But look, we know that I have Jackson State winning. By 2 touchdowns, respectfully. I have them winning by 2 touchdowns. Minimum. But yeah, man, but we're gonna see what happens, man. And I hope it turns into a good game.